Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. So I've already gone ahead and pulled some cards for us today with regards to the Divine Masculine's energy and how he's feeling towards the Divine Feminine today and what's going on in the situation. Let's take a deeper look. So we've got lots of cards on the go. We've got 14 decks today to look through. So let's begin. So our first deck for the most significant energy, our first card even for our most significant energy for the Divine Masculine today is the Ace of Bows, Spark of Life. So let's read some more about this spark of life, this Ace of Bows. So the meaning of this card is as the turning of the cosmic axis generates the spark of life, so the kindling of a flame sparks the necessary light and warmth in our lives. The drill bow suggests the human element, our partnership with the environment in which we live, and the mastery of its gifts. Now I find this very interesting because yesterday we had in the energies how it was coming through that the Divine Masculine was connecting with the divine energies within him. He was feeling the Divine Feminine within him. He could feel his connection with divine, with source energy within him. And here we have Divine Masculine again showing up in this energy today, showing that the Divine Masculine is feeling this spark of life. He can feel this connection within him, this fire that's kindling inside of him, this fire that's burning within him, the spark of connection between you and your divine counterpart. Your Divine Masculine is definitely feeling this spark of life today. He can feel this chemistry, the connection, the electricity, the fire within him today. So our next card out, we had anxiety. So this is quite clear. These energies may be pretty potent and powerful, and it's a new thing for the Divine Masculine. The aces, the wands, it's always representative of a new beginning, of something new, a fresh start, number one, the start of a new cycle. So it's quite intense for the Divine Masculine to be feeling these energies. And it may be triggering some anxiety within the Divine Masculine. Perhaps also the Divine Feminine is feeling this anxiety as an empath, feeling her Divine Masculine's anxiety. Perhaps this anxiety is causing and has caused a rift, a problem within your connection because of the intensity of these feelings. It can cause quite a lot of anxiety. It's triggering this anxiety. We also am looking at the number 18 here. So again, we have that number 1 because it's this start of this new cycle. And the eights being this movement, this infinite cycle, this connection, this never-ending connection within, that reminder that the divine masculine is receiving at this time, because he's feeling that strong connection with the divine and with divine feminine at this time, with these energies within him. He's feeling that connection, the infinite connection to these divine energies. And it is quite triggering. It's causing this anxiety. So which leads to this number 9, which also highlights for the divine masculine that this new feeling, it's triggering because it's the end of, it's like something has to end in order to have and experience this new feeling, because it's new. So you no longer feel the old feeling anymore. And that's kind of triggering for the divine masculine, because he's so used to feeling the old feelings, the old way of being. But the spark of life is bringing divine masculine into the light, and it's highlighting all of these things in the shadow, highlighting all of the shadow aspects that do need healing, that are coming out to the light to be healed, to acknowledge, just accept. Some things we let go of because they're no longer relevant and they don't match up to this new feeling. So divine masculine here is feeling, well, we have the King of Stones, we have the wolf energy. This is the wolf howling at the moon, and the moon being the divine feminine energy. We have divine masculine howling at the moon for divine feminine. Now, why is he howling at the moon? He's howling at the moon because he's feeling as though he stabbed the divine feminine in the back. He's feeling as though he stabbed the divine feminine in the back, and that he's being deceptive. He's having this heartbreak. He's feeling this loss of the divine feminine. He's feeling this pain, and he's howling at the moon. He's howling at the moon. He feels that he stabbed the divine feminine in the back because he didn't recognize or see her soon enough. Interesting. And then we have the stoat, the Page of Bows. Now this Page of Bows, there's a childlike innocence with this stoat. This is almost representative of, well, perhaps it is, this could be representative of the divine feminine's energy, and how divine feminine perhaps felt, she's curious of the divine masculine. She's perhaps was eager. Because of this innocence, perhaps the divine masculine took her innocence and her kindnesses as a weakness, took her kindness as gullibility. And that's why he's howling at the moon and feels as though he stabbed her in the back. When actually divine feminine, she understands the connection Divine Masculine is feeling this connection. He's definitely feeling this union and howling at the moon because he recognizes that it is, again, there's that word, eternal love. He can feel the infinite and the eternal connection, the soul connection, the merging of two souls. The Divine Masculine is experiencing these feelings igniting within him. The fire has been kindled inside of him. So Divine Masculine wants to be strategic here. He's thinking about what to do with this sword. The sword that he's pulled out of the back. He doesn't want to stab the Divine Feminine in the back with it. But he's planning and being strategic about how to move forward. Because he is looking right at you, Divine Feminine. Although he has a slightly solemn look, it's almost also a look of knowing, a look of deep knowing, where he's sat strategically thinking over things, like connecting with his inner wisdom, connecting with his crown chakra, thinking deeply about his spiritual beliefs. Thinking about his blessings, thinking about all that has been before, gaining some deeper insight here. Remembering the past. Remembering the past and having fond memories of the past with the Divine Feminine. Understanding the happy times and the gifts. The friendship between you. And how your cups were always full when you were together. It's an abundance in your life when the Divine Feminine was in your life. It's like you could choose anything. Okay. So next out on the table, I've pulled from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle here, and we have the Peacekeeper and Arrow. Let go of the need to be right. So first of all, let's look into the Peacekeeper. I clarified this card with the Good Tarot, and we have the Five of Air. So let's see how these cards go together. And let's read our message. So the Peacekeeper. She is a soul who knows what it's like to feel under threat and to stand up for what she believes in and what is right. Her medicine helps you to take the higher road in every situation, even if you're under pressure to make a quick decision. It is a reminder that within your hands lies the power to make the right choice for all involved. You may be feeling on edge due to a stressful situation. So Divine Masculine is feeling on edge. He's feeling this anxiety at this present time. But there's a warrior within you that wants to rise up, prove your point and get the truth across. But you are being reminded by ancestor wisdom, which he's gaining here in this King of Swords throne that he's sat upon, looking right at you, Divine Feminine. He's gaining this wisdom. So he's being reminded by ancestor wisdom that truth will always be revealed in the end. It's more important at this time to avoid arguments or heated discussions where you know you'll be fighting a losing battle. There is much more in choosing to move forward from a higher perspective. This will allow you to connect deeply to the guidance within and the intuition that will lead you towards the healing of the whole situation, along with any wounds it may have inflicted on you. Choose peace. You know it's calling you. So the Five of Air is also a card of tension and conflict. It says conflict is a good way to see my motives and intentions. I can use this experience to grow into a more authentic version of myself. See, while Divine Masculine is sat in his throne, perhaps you've not seen him for a while, Divine Feminine. And that's because he's doing some inner work at this time. So I can use this experience to grow into my more authentic self. It's not important to win. It's not important to win. Divine Masculine's letting go of the need to be right. Learning that it's not important to win. What's most important is peace. Is feeling that peace within. It's important to have integrity. Other people have different ways of thinking and may not always be in agreement with me. I open to this opportunity to live and let live. Excuse me. So before I continue, as we are already halfway through the cards, let's look further. Let's take an even further, closer look as we begin to look at the bottom of the decks here and introduce some more energies. Oh, look at the big shadow. I look like a giant. Ooh. So what's causing the Divine Masculine this anxiety? Well, he feels that he's exploited the Divine Feminine. Perhaps Divine Masculine has exploited the Divine Feminine. Perhaps Divine Masculine feels that he took the Divine Feminine for granted. Perhaps Divine Masculine took Divine Feminine's kindness for weakness. Because there was a lot of envy and jealousy. Regarding the Divine Feminine. People were envious of what the Divine Feminine has, perhaps. They were envious of the Divine Feminine's gifts, her presence, her light that shines brightly out of that room. And they were envious, perhaps Divine Masculine was envious of Divine Feminine's light. And something's happened in the situation where there's been deceptive behaviour, dishonesty, disloyalty, where they've exploited, where he's exploited the Divine Feminine, the Divine Feminine's nature, the Divine Feminine's goodness, the Divine Feminine's purity. So why is he howling at the moon? Well, he's howling, well, there we go. He's howling at the moon because he's found his way through this maze, the maze of the roots of the world tree, and he's found his way to the world tree, wanting to start this new cycle where he can protect the Divine Feminine. He's feeling sad and anxious, howling at the moon, recognising that he stabbed the Divine Feminine in the back because of taking her kindness for a weakness and exploiting her innocence, her kindness. But there's this chance for this new cycle to begin. Because he's gained this wisdom. 23, 32. As I said that. Time with friends, moving on, happily single. Perhaps Divine Masculine feels that the Divine Feminine is happy single. Moving on now, because he stabbed her in the back. Perhaps Divine Feminine has talked to her friends about this. Perhaps he's heard her talking to her friends about this. But he recognises this is unconditional love. It's infinite. Lightning. And it is like a sudden change for him. The spark of life because he can now all of a sudden feel this. And it is like shocking news. It's an epiphany for the Divine Masculine. As he sat in his throne, he's had an epiphany. An epiphany about this love. Oh, yep. And the heartbreak. And the heartbreak. And the being stabbed in the back. He understands what he's done to the Divine Feminine. Well, he understands what he's done to the lady, to the Divine Feminine, to the Empress, the one with whom he could enjoy growth and reap rewards with. He recognizes the Divine Feminine's worth. He recognizes her strength now. Another card howling at the moon. He recognizes that it was wrong. It was wrong to take advantage of the lady. It was wrong to take the lady for granted. And it was wrong to take her kindness as weakness, because without her, he doesn't have that growth. Without her, his life is pretty bleak. There's no fresh fruit around him when the Divine Feminine isn't around. Very interesting. So what is he doing sat in this chair? He's looking deeper. He's been looking deeper within himself. Deep within him is a majestic radiance. And this is where the Divine Masculine is today. He's recognizing that there is these divine energies within him. He's recognizing the majestic radiance within him. The spark of life. So he now wants to surround himself with protective energy. He's wanting to let go of the need to be right. Understanding that he wants to be his true, authentic self. So the Arrow card. Oops, find the Arrow. So when an arrow appears in meditation or dreams or an oracle reading, it's a sign you need to protect yourself and what is important to you. Because not everyone has the same intentions as you do. This doesn't mean that people are intentionally wanting to hurt you, but they could be careless in their choices and actions, and this could affect you. There are energies around you that could lower your vibration, and it's important you become aware of them and aren't brought down by them. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals, or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or to step out of this situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, do so. In any event, this is a time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. Well, I feel that the Divine Masculine has retreated for a while. To embrace this energy of protection. He's retreated to a safe space to gain this inner wisdom, to see things from another perspective. To surrender. Sacrifice and surrender are necessary at times like this. Nothing in life is free, nor does everything happen according to my timetable. When the Hanged Man card appears, I'm reminded that a delay is in my best interest, that until all the elements are in place, I'm meant to surrender to the greater will, for the highest good of all. Time for me to let go of my attachment to how I thought things had to be. I am called to surrender and wait to see how things play out. So Divine Masculine is feeling more called now to surrender to the divine, to surrender his feelings, this love to divine, to allow things to unfold as they will. Divine Masculine recognizes to have patience. He recognizes that love is patient and kind always. Divine Masculine recognizes how patient the Divine Feminine has been. Her patience and kindness is the purest form of love that the Divine Masculine has ever encountered. Is the truest reflection of love there is. To be patient with a person shows that you have time for them. You're not in a rush to get away from them, to hush them. You have patience and kindness. You listen. Divine Masculine's been reflecting upon these qualities, and he understands a lot deeper now. He recognizes that the Divine Feminine's kindness is not a weakness. The Divine Feminine's kindness is the truest, purest form of unconditional love that there is. Her patience is a virtue Divine Masculine is seeing things from a different perspective. And he wants to practice this compassion with the Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine wants to show you his love by doing something kind for you. He wants to give you time, Divine Feminine. He wants to show kindness to you in that same way. He's recognizing now. He sees things from a different perspective. He understands things differently. He understands how the concept of time is just an illusion and how we can always make more of it. He understands that time is a natural element within our lives. But nature, the natural world, it doesn't need a clock. Everything still runs and works and grows as it's meant. It doesn't rush. And these are things that the Divine Masculine has been reflecting upon. These are all things that, the light has been shining on, that he can now see in his life, on how he can be loving and kind. He's understanding the things that he can do to be a loving and kind person also. Temperance, the High Priestess, understanding how to give and receive in balance, understanding how to heal connections. If you see here, Divine Masculine's rising up, you see. Divine Masculine, he's risen. He's reaching this higher perspective, gaining that deeper intuition. He's connecting to his intuition. Can you see here how he's taking steps now in the right direction? He's risen up out of the deep dark depths, and now he's on the top of the water, walking in the right direction. It's like he's made his way through, he's made his way out. He's done soul searching and reflecting in the abyss of his heart, and he's, resurfaced, knowing which steps to take now and which direction to head towards. Because he's looked deeper. He recognizes this majestic wonder even. He recognizes the majesty of the lady, the Empress. He recognizes the majestic wonder within. Right in the center. Two of Cups. So we also have Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. And that's exactly what the Divine Masculine has been doing. Divine Masculine's taken us time to heal, to connect to his intuition, to understand things from a different perspective. He's had to separate himself from energies that were no longer serving him. He's had to come to terms with the truth that resides within him. But he recognizes now that it is a miracle and a blessing, and that Divine Feminine, you are a gift to the Divine Masculine. Everything has its gift. And Divine Masculine recognizes that to him, you are the gift. So Dharma unfolding, dwell, call. Divine Masculine here is remembering that he is on a path. And what does it say? Let's hold this card up. And it says, take one step at a time to happiness. And Divine Masculine, Divine Masculine is taking one step at a time to happiness, because yes, he has this increased awareness and recognizes the deep connection, connecting to the Divine Feminine, to source energy, the divine within him. And he's trusting his inner voice. He's trusting what's coming to him. He's trusting what's coming to him at this time as his soul is expanding and rising up. So Divine Masculine, he is ascending at this time. So we have some more finals. We have a King of Chalice. He's ascending and he's bursting with love. His cup is overflowing here for the Divine Feminine. It's like he's swimming. He's swimming in love, Divine Feminine. He's bringing you a whole lake. I don't know what that's meant to mean. Ace of Water and King of Chalices. Because you are the pearl in the Divine Masculine's heart, Divine Feminine. Oh my goodness, and look at this. I don't know if you can see. Let me just adjust, because I didn't see this until now, but underneath both bottom cards we've got Justice. Underneath the Ace of Cups we've got Justice. Divine Masculine's on his way to you, Divine Feminine. Oh, and look at this, top of the deck. He's having a walkabout. He's taking those steps towards you. What does he want to say to you, Divine Feminine? Well, your Divine Masculine wants to make love to you. He wants to make love to you. So, there we go. Your Divine Masculine wants to make love to you. And he's asking you to please don't give up on me, Divine Feminine. The Divine Masculine misses you, Divine Feminine. And he does want to be with you. You mean the world to him, and you are his sunshine. Here's a note on love. Seek different seasons and enter into the unknown. When love is the focus, foundation and goal, blessed is the body, mind and soul. And Divine Masculine feels blessed. Divine Masculine, he feels blessed to have a Divine Feminine in his life. So he prays and begs that you don't give up on him, Divine Feminine, because he really does miss you. And he really does want to be with you. And he does recognise that you are a gift, that you are a miracle. It's a miracle that he even met you to experience this love, to feel a love that you feel blessed with, body, mind and soul. So I hope you enjoyed this reading today. I know it was a pretty long one. Fine, another message, sorry. I'm not sorry. Divine Masculine, sorry. I've made some mistakes in my life. I realised I was wrong and I'm sorry. Divine Masculine, sorry. Divine Feminine. He's sorry for not seeing things the way that perhaps he does now. And he does cherish those moments that you spent together. And he misses you. Because, yeah, he truly felt blessed in the time that you spent together. And he does want to be with you. And he'd love a future with you in it. So spiritual signs of inclination, you're walking through passages of your transformation. So things are set to transform. So do let me know how things transform for you. The seeds have been planted. So let's just wait and see how this all pans out. Much love, everybody. Thanks again for being here. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please do let me know. I know it was a long one, but there we go. I thought you might like it. Much love. Take care. Bye for now.